All right, everybody, welcome back. I have a few knives I wanted to go over today. Check the title. I'll put the descriptions, or I'm sorry, the make and models in the title for you so you know what you're getting into. I have my Mossberg 590 A1 Mariner edition in the background there just for a little bit of stage presence for this video. So without further ado, like I said, I have four knives. Two of them are custom, and then the other ones are semi-custom. So to start out, I picked this up on Blade Forums probably about 6 months ago, and I was going to sell it, but I do have a little bit of discoloration on the handle because I've been carrying it kind of as a shotgun rider in my vehicle lately. But it is the Becker BK9. And the reason that this one is special is it's not the ocean-made one, it's the one that's made in Kalmus, which is no longer in existence. And it has these orange custom Rocky Mountain handles. There's the scraping from probably my belt while I'm riding in my Jeep. So I guess I'm not going to sell this one now because of that flaw. I do have the original handles with this too, but that Rocky Mountain texture is pretty sweet. Feels really good in your hand. And I do like the orange. You can see there's still some of the oil on the blade there. A couple of my fingerprints. But this one's never been used. I bought it from somebody else. I'm the second owner, and it's really never been used. Obviously you can see it's been carried a little bit. Mainly in my vehicle as a backup, but it's just a huge knife. Anybody that knows anything about the BK9, you know that you can't really go wrong with this one. I own the 7 as well. I love the 7. I use that one a lot. If you watch one of my previous videos, it's probably my most used fixed blade, the BK7. So here is my BK9 with custom Rocky Mountain handle scales. And like I said, this isn't the ocean model. This isn't the new K-bar. That's Kalmus, the old one. Nice thick spine. Ooh, look at that 12 gauge in the background. Even the butt looks good on this guy. Looks cool with the orange scales. So that's that. The second one that I want to show you, one of my more expensive blades, is semi-custom. I had this one made by Specs. Waited a while because waiting on the Crewware steel. But here is, and it has made a couple of appearances in some of my other videos. It is the Bark River Aurora in CPM Crewware. It has the white polished linen micarta handles with the mosaic pins. Very smooth. And then between that linen micarta and that Crewware, I have some nice red liners. You can see the palm swell in the middle of that knife. Very nice knife. Learned of the Aurora kind of looking through Bark River's catalog. It appeared out to me to be probably my favorite style, and it didn't disappoint. I have 2 of these now. This is the standard version. I also have an LT, which is a little bit thinner where the handles are at. Not quite as thick of scales on the LT version. And my LT is actually an LMAX, which is also on a previous video. But I picked out these pins, the particular liners, and the white linen polished micarta material. Nice convex edge. This knife has done a little bit of food prep. Even has a little bit of a patina on it. Love crew wear. Ordered that one directly off of DLT. That was a pre-order. That's how that came into existence. And now we're moving to my two custom knives, which have quickly become my favorite. This is a Lon Humphreys, and it is the White Tail. And it's a small little pocket knife. It comes with a nice pocket sheath. You can see that Lon, who's another local knife maker in Ohio, he actually hammer forges this model. It's called Brute de Forge. You can see his last name is his maker's mark stamp in the steel there. And it's a 1095 blade. Love those hammer marks. You can see that he leaves the hammer marks on the back end of the blade as well as the top. And on the other side. And the cool thing about these is if you see these on DLT trading, every blade shape and handle shape is a little different. And that's what you get with a custom knife. So he may have 10 or 12 of these knives on DLT trading, and one might be a little more of a spear point, one might be a little steeper of a drop point, the handle might be a little bit shorter, which is really cool from a collector's standpoint, because then you may want one or two or three or four of the same model. And this is Coca-Cola wood pinned in, and it's kind of a thick spine for how tiny it is. And this knife is probably only about 5 inches, 4.5 inches, 5 inches. But you can see the taper in the spine tapers all the way down to that. And it's not perfectly symmetrical, you know, it's a custom knife, but it will still do anything that you want it to because it's so well made. The attention to detail is just phenomenal. Even the little imperfections in the wood, I think, kind of give it character. The taper tang is one of my favorites. Another one of my favorite items that Lon does on his Brute de Forge series is this finger guard right here. It's actually part of the stock of the steel, and he hammers that guard into a little, or he hammers the steel into a little finger guard, and it's nice and smooth. It's a 3-finger knife, but it's nice and smooth. I even like to choke up if I'm doing something. Get a little bit of that finger on that blade. Don't hurt you as long as you're careful, and that way you can wrap that pinky around there. But this knife is thick, and I'm sure this would never disappoint on anything that you're really doing. I love Lon Humphreys. Plus, he's a fellow Ohioan. We have so many great knife makers in Ohio. We're so lucky. Lon Humphrey being one of those. Just love the beauty of that wood. This was my first custom knife, true custom. I plan on getting more Lon Humphreys because it's just really cool. Put this guy out of the way. Put Lon right there. Another nice shot of that shotgun. It's a Mossberg 590 A1 with the Merino coat. And then last but definitely not least of this video, I just got a new custom knife, and it's made by Fletcher knives. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Fletcher knives, he was an apprentice for Andy Roy, who is the owner and runs the company Fiddleback Forge, which is a more familiar company. But Dylan Fletcher actually interned or apprenticed under him, under Andy, and his work, ever since I started seeing it, I wanted to have a Fletcher knife, and I just got this one in. You can see the natural micarta with the black micarta pins, and this is called the Hatchula 3. There's a Hatchula 1, and this is the Hatchula 3. There's the maker's mark for Dylan of Fletcher knives. You can see that the top has some sort of finish on it. Grind is beautifully done. Nice and sharp grind, nice and even. And I don't know if I'll ever use this knife. It's very, very forward heavy, and the reason behind that is you can see that stock, and it's got to be at least a 5/32. You can see that stock, and then you got these beautiful natural liners, and then some black pinstriping, micarta pinstriping, and watch this tang. It disappears as you get down to the end of the handle. It is just such a, not drastic, but it's amazing. It's smooth as far as the transition goes, but the end result is just like, it's gorgeous. I love the butt of this knife. Those black pins are special. See that micarta. It's not polished, but it's not bead blasted. It's like just a kind of halfway in between, maybe leaning a bit more towards bead blasted, but in the hand it's so, like if you're chopping, it's very forward heavy, which is good for this knife. Nice little thumb ramp right here, a little like harpoon-ish looking design. It's a big knife. It's probably about 11 inches overall. Love this guy. So that's my current new favorite knife. So I just wanted to give you guys an overview of, showing you some of these knives. If you have any interest, I kind of think of my videos as some knife porn. Maybe people are looking for certain models, or you can't find these certain models on the internet. So you can pick them up here on my channel where I'm showing you these. I have a good amount of money invested in my knives. It's not the biggest collection on YouTube, of course, but I do really love collecting, and I pick out knives specifically that I like to have. Love those red liners with that white. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or you want to see anything more in detail, I know I got a lot of blurry shots on this video because of my lighting. Let me know, and I will be happy to oblige. I am going to be doing some flashlight videos still coming up. I've been kind of procrastinating because of the hours that I've been putting in at the office, but it'll be coming soon. I have to do that one at night. I have some nice custom flashlights. This thing is just a monster. BK9. Alright, so thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, or would like to see anything else, let me know. Please check out my previous videos. I have a folder video out there. I have a pair of 3 video out there, and I do have a fixed blade video. I'm not a professional photographer by any means or videographer, but I have fun showing my knives to you guys, and I hope I get lots of likes and subscribes. Thanks again. Bye-bye.